Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining another edition of the Arms Bumanlag Project on this Tuesday evening as we wrap up the month of August. Very happy to have you on the show as we continue to live stream on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. It's a really great way for you to interact with us. This is the place where Windsor comes to talk, and we talk about positive things and get to know folks who are doing some pretty cool stuff right here in our community. So very happy to have you on the program. And my guest tonight, I'm so blessed to be able to spend some time with her. She's an amazing woman, and she has done some incredible things here in the Windsor-Essex community. We'll welcome her to the show in the next couple of minutes. But as always, we kind of recap what you've been missing if you're just tuning into the show for the first time. We have some really great guests. On Friday, we had an awesome deep dive chat with Karen Skaden. She's from Get Organized Windsor. If you're looking to organize your life, she's the lady to talk to. So we had a lot of fun with her. And then coming up this Friday, we're going to be talking to my buddy Jen from Tailgate Takeout. This is an awesome online video blog. I worked with Jen back during AM 800 days, probably early 2000s, and she's doing some incredible stuff with the local culinary scene here in Windsor-Essex. But my guest is somebody that I've chatted with over the last couple of years, really, many, many years. She's been a guest of mine on AM 800, on CTV. I've recently had an amazing opportunity to see her in action during unprecedented fundraising times during COVID as well at Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare. She really does care about the community, and she's got an awesome story to tell. I'm very excited and happy to welcome Dani Probert to the project this evening. Dani, what's going on? How are you, my friend?
Arms, I'm fabulous. Thank you. Look at your setup. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Intro too, by the way. Meanwhile, I cracked up. My daughter was over my shoulder, and I saw the picture that you have of me. I'm like, oh, good. I'm wearing my uniform. We're good. Okay.
I was going through photos, and I'm like, oh my God, we have some photos together over the years too. And then I saw that photo from the Detroit Free Press, and I was like, if there was a photo, I think that really personifies you as an individual, I think it was that photo, because to me, it like really resonated strength, and it resonated determination in that photo too. Because I mean, first of all, what a year it's been for you. And I think from your job at Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare, but certainly your job as a mom too. How you've been holding up during COVID?
Actually, we're doing okay on this end. I have to say, there's been a lot of positives for us as a family coming out of this. And obviously with work, that's different stuff. Reinventing ourselves and coming up with new ideas, and also doing a lot of morale boosting projects at work and everything, just for the front line. I'm behind the scenes. I consider myself a bit more of a cheerleader behind the scenes and trying to bring the fun and keep it upbeat as much as possible, especially in the beginning when we were so terrified. No one knew what was going on. All the confusion and fear. Sure. And so that was one thing that was a bit trying at times. And we're getting into our groove now. We have some events coming up, and it feels so fantastic to be this busy again. But for the kids and I at home, boy, we picked up some really good baking stuff and all those TikTok cooking shows and tips. Did them all, just about. And a lot of fun, and just staying, game nights and just reconnecting with our family.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible though, as crazy as COVID is and how heartbreaking it's been for a lot of families right across Windsor-Essex and certainly around the world, Dani, too. I was saying this to my mom. My mom came over today to babysit Liam for a bit so I could get some work done in my home office. And I was saying to my mom, I'm like, it's funny. It's like now we enter 2022. And I think if COVID has taught anybody anything, for us anyways, it's been the importance of that time spent with family and really connecting on that sort of level. And you found that with your family and the kids too, right? I know that the kids are older now. They're not necessarily kids, they're young adults, but connecting with them on that level, that must have been something as a mom that you've really cherished.
Absolutely. And truly grateful for our health and where we're at and with our family connections. And yes, not taking any of it for granted, with lockdowns and what have you, and what it's, and how the world's been hit by all of this. But I try to focus on the positive I try to, I reconnected with my church, the Exchange Church, which has been a blessing and just a really good positive thing for me and the kids, and just focusing. That's what I can do in this house. I can take care of that. That's what I'm in charge of. And I think I'm, the CEO over here in that department. Two of my kids were living in California, and I was really so thankful that they made it home right before the lockdown, that I had all the chicks back in the nest. And that was wonderful. At first, I was just so thankful, so relieved to have them home and to lay eyes on them at all times. And then, after a couple months, I don't know if that got old quick. And then we had to come up with we got to do some fun stuff, have some game nights, and
Sure.
we try to do our own paint nights, things like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but we're plugging along.
We're encouraging people to. We have Dani Probert on the show with us today to comment in the live stream. Eric says the Proberts rock. So there you go.
Thanks,
some kudos
Eric.
for you.
How are you? Wow.
Appreciates that. It's funny. Like as a mom too, have you found like when the kids are, because I know you're pretty social media savvy, and we can talk about how that's kind of enveloped into the success of the Probert ride over the years too. And I want to talk about sort of the pivots that you guys have had to do from Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare Foundation to kind of make that happen too.
Sure.
But do you find that when your kids are home and they're kind of getting you on TikTok and they're doing these kind of new social media things with you, what's your take on all of that? That it's sort of changing at a breakneck speed.
You said I'm all like, the tech savvy thing. I'm so not. You were tweeting this stuff, and I finally saw it today, and I'm like, I just know how to retweet. I don't know how to put a comment. I can like it. I'm really good at liking stuff. I try to, that's with Twitter. I haven't quite figured that one out. I love Instagram. That's my thing. TikTok, we tried making a couple of those those dance TikToks, man. Not good. I'm not coordinated. I am not, but it was fun for the kids to watch me at least try. That was, I think, more of a comedy night than, trying to put a dance thing together. But, and Facebook, honestly, I've taken a break a little bit from my personal Facebook stuff and just focusing on the fan club page and the ride page and our foundation page as well at work. And just focusing on that and promoting all of our events and what we have going on and trying to, like I said, once again, I keep circling back to the positive. I just want to stay in that area. So.
Yeah, and I think that's so crucial too. That's why I started doing this podcast a couple months ago, is to really focus on the positive. And I think about some of the positive impacts that Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare has done in the community, including the Probert ride. This is something that you've really championed since you've become a part of the Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare family too. Tell me about the ride, and over the years, I know we've worked on promoting it and getting it front and center in front of people. It's probably one of the best rides in the area, but talk about the pivots that you had to make because of COVID. Obviously last year was a little bit different too, but what's coming up in the future?
Well, I'm not going to lie. Last year sucked. I cried on ride day. I was so sad. I realized how much, well, first of all, thank you for saying that about our ride. I appreciate that. I'm really proud of it. And yes, you and I go way back from 2000. When was it? 2011 was the first year for the ride. And you and I have been doing interviews together since day one. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's year 5.
Year 5, eh?
No, year 6, maybe? Who is that? Oh my gosh, look at Bill.
I know.
Yeah.
I went for
my dad. Time. That's Jimbo and I, my father. Awesome.
And I love these photos, right?
Yes, I love it. What's amazing, Arms? That's a good one. Is watching, seeing these photos, is seeing how my kids have grown. Look at you, and oh my gosh, that was our second or third.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I found that photo, honestly.
The first one was at the old Thunder Road.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that. It was like 90,000 degrees out. You were so gracious to come out and be a part of the live TV shoot too. But then we would bring you over to the station when we were on Olette and University and stand in the middle of the rain to do 2 minutes of television. But God bless you for doing it.
Thank you. What about the rooftop? Don't forget the rooftop.
Did
the rooftop. Did the waterfront.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the picture actually that you just showed of you and I still have that one on one of my albums as well. I love it. So yeah, we go way back. But last year with the ride, it was so sad. I realized how important the planning of the ride is for the whole Probert family. Bob's mom, brother, nephew, my 4 kids. my extended family as well. It's just something so positive to focus on. And we just love saying Bob's name, and it just gives us the opportunity to do that. And we do it with or without the ride, but it just really enforces that in people coming out and sharing their stories. And it was just so healthy for Bob's mom to get out, and she loves collecting prizing and getting sponsorship and stuff. And it just makes her feel so good. And she smiles and she calls, and you could just hear it in her voice, like how happy she is to hear the Bob stories, and people light up when they see her and how important that is. And after just being locked up, she really has, with the lockdown, stayed in her apartment, and just getting her out has just been, it was really, I'm seeing it in the elderly, how difficult it is, but I just saw how much she missed it. And on ride day, it was, some people planned some smaller rides and to honor Bob and to do something special. And we had a few people over here, close family, and we all did. My whole team from work was awesome, all at the same time, 4 p.m. when the ride typically wraps up at the Chicharro Club. We all had raised a glass and did a little toast, and we all shared pictures of us doing that on ride day. So that was for 2020, which would have been ride number 10. And that didn't happen. So this year wasn't as hard, just because I got through the first really tough one. But I miss it. I really miss being together with my, all my friends, the people that come out, the community, all the familiar faces and new faces, and just getting to see so many people and share such an awesome day together. And I miss it. I'm already planning. That next ride's happening. I'm sorry. June 26th, 2022. That is happening. Come hell or high water, it's happening.
Yeah, it's got to be at some point too, right, Dani? It's like, I was saying that at my gig at the Humane Society too. It's like, come hell or high water, it's like we have to look at what can we do in the future, right? And how can we bring people together again safely?
Absolutely.
And
we still need money for mental health and addictions. We still need to raise money for cardiac. We still need to for hospice. All these wonderful fundraising events, the Humane Society, everything. These places still need the financial assistance. We got to do this, and to get together and do it together as a community is wonderful. And we know how wonderful Windsor Essex is for that. So
I remember with the Probert ride too. I mean, when my wife and I lived in Windsor, we were right behind Windsor Regional. I remember one year I was out on ride day. I think I was running some errands, and I remember just hearing the rumble. And I was like, it scared the crap out of me, because I was like, okay, what is going on? And then I'm like, oh my God, I literally just covered this. like, you kind of like check out on the weekend, right? But then I'm like, it's Dani's ride. It's Bob's ride. And to see this caravan of hope of all these folks on their hogs. And my father-in-law is an avid motorcyclist, right? So, and I don't even know if I'm using the correct term, or biker, right?
Okay.
But
how have I known you this long and I've never heard about this?
Right? Well, we always do the gigs. It'd be like, okay, 2 minutes on TV and then we got to go. But he's a huge motorcyclist, and he loves his bike. And it's like to see that support for Bob, and what your family has been trying to achieve to bring cardiac wellness to the next level. I think that's so crucial, because I think year in and year out, somebody like Bob was so synonymous not only to hockey fans here locally, but also Windsorites. Because I mean, here's this local guy doing amazing things and getting a reputation for being tough as nails on the ice, and you're able to carry on that legacy. So I guess what I'm asking you, Dani, is, would you say that being involved with this ride has been a bit of comfort for you and your family to honor Bob through the years?
Absolutely. And I don't think I ever realized how much so until missing it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's so cathartic for us to reconnect with our hockey family that comes into town or reaches out. Just for my kids to hear dad's stories is really touching. Seeing some of the guys that come to town and see my son that looks spitting image of Bob, same height, same everything, and they get choked up when they see him, because it's Bob. It looks like Bob. They just realize how much they miss him. It's unbelievable. But it really is an important thing for us to plan and get together. And as a family, all of our friends, I can't even stress enough. Like I said, I had to step away from it, and not by choice, obviously, but to miss it, to realize, wow, we really need this. This is such a good thing for us.
So the pivot during COVID was you guys did like a raffle, right? I think I was over at Local 444 a while back, and I saw the poster, and I thought, I mean, that's what a great way to kind of still engage. But I mean, it's not quite the same as having hundreds of bikes rumble down the road, but still something to do in these quote unquote unprecedented times, right?
Absolutely. And it's keeps me connected with some great friendships that I've made along the way. I mean, Unifor has been with us since day one, and 2458, 444, and so many sponsors like Thunder Road and Scott Demore and Demore Construction. Like I could just go down the whole list of all these people that, well, Scott's my cousin. That one doesn't count. But anyways, but these are friendships that have developed, and I love to see these people and going to see Dave and Jimmy and at the, and Caitlin and Jeremy, all these guys at the office and girls at 444. I miss them. I miss going in and talking to Rob Reeve and the crew over at Thunder Road, like, because that's part of my thing of organizing. I'm going out and I'm talking to all these people and seeing these people, especially when the ride ramps up, right? When they're daily driving them nuts. But so I really miss them. And with Unifor sponsoring the bike, we're doing another raffle. The draw's this Monday, Labor Day Monday. That's awesome. Generously donated the bike, and they're helping us sell tickets and everything. But you feel alive again. You're doing something awesome. You're doing something good for your community. You're with your people, and it just feels really good.
So 2022, you're hoping to hit the roads again on this. Planning's underway for that. How's that shaping up? I know it's still early out, but I know planning continues right through the course of, each year that you plan for the Probert ride.
Sure. Everything. I think we had a lot in place before the lockdown in March of 2020. And all the pieces of the puzzle, like I said, we've been doing it for 10 years. So it's the templates there for everything to put the pieces in. That's not a problem. And we had our road captain and we had special guests and so many wonderful, new, exciting things to introduce for year 10 that we're going to keep that locked down because we're going ahead with what we had already started. I am approaching it gingerly, I guess, just cautiously thinking that
sure,
just in case we have to see what will be going on in the world at that time. But like I said, I'm going to stick with the positive, and it's going to happen on June 26th, 2022. And it's going to be better than ever. And the planning's already been placed. Things are already ready to go. Just got to make it happen.
When you approach some of your friends, and certainly by extension, Bob's former team members, people he's known through the sport through the years to be involved, what do they say to you when you approach them, and how do they react about this carrying on for essentially a decade?
Well, if I'm calling up a road captain and asking them to be our road captain, first of all, that's a thing that we talk about with the family. It's just, that's the kids and I make that decision. And then usually we, bring it to the committee, of course. I have an awesome committee, my Proby peeps, and we discuss it. And when I have to call these guys, some of them I haven't talked to in a while. Like a lot of the guys, they'll touch base and, check in, whether it's text or whatever, we stay in touch. And some of them I haven't talked to in a few years. And so our road captain that'll be coming up, I hadn't talked to him in a couple of years, and he was really close to Bob. He was one of Bob's roommates in Detroit and everything. And he got choked up. He was very emotional, and that seems to be a common reaction that the guys are honored when they're asked. And unless there's something as far the ride, for some reason, and the only one year 5 that it didn't fall on the draft weekend, that's tricky. There's a lot of players that would love to attend and be here, but we're draft weekend. So if they can get back from the draft in time, if it's close enough in the team's same time zone, we're lucky that we can get them back or have them as guests here. But that part's a tricky part. But just reaching out to them, talking to them, it's gotten to the point now, I'm so blessed that we have 3 VIP buses for our players, the non-riders, because they feel that they have to be able to ride to participate. I'm like, no, I want everybody here, one big family, and we'll put you on a bus. And whatever now the bus is, it's going to end up going from a bike, poker run to a bus poker run of some sort, because we all like being on the bus. So it's just, it's a good time. It's a great day.
Get everyone on the bus and stop on the wineries on the way. Then it becomes a wine tour too, right?
Oh, I think you're onto something.
Okay. I'm telling you. I said bus, and I'm thinking Essex County. I'm thinking wine tour. Let's do it
instantly.
I sign me up in that case.
Okay.
Bill, our good buddy Bill Mara says Dani is the creative and inspirational force behind the ride and our team. We are blessed to have the Proberts as extended members of our Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare family. So some kudos from Mr. Mara there as well. And that's, I mean, you've seen sort of the impact that the Probert ride has had here locally. I know that there was some news out of the Tecumseh area a few years back now, but I mean, how does that make you feel? How does it make the kids feel? And certainly Bob's family feel too, that you're not only honoring his legacy, but you're making that impact continue to kind of get that healthcare where, quite frankly, it should have been, it could have been in years previous for, cardiac wellness here in the Windsor Essex area.
There's no words to describe how proud we are to be a part of it, to have been asked initially with Dino Kyoto in meeting my HDGH family when they were over on Olette, and that's where it started, right? And they were amazing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was in a fog. I had just lost Bob. I was so sad, and this was just something I was saying yes to everything because I just wanted to continue to honor him, and I just didn't realize, I had no clue what the impact that this event would have on our own family. I never realized. I didn't know what to expect. And they were wonderful in giving me a tour of the angioplasty suite that they have at Olette Avenue, and seeing the need for a second suite that, which we were originally raising money for. And we fulfilled our obligation to that Olette, and then getting equipment for the cardiac wellness center at Prince Road, and, just having the kids there and Bob's mom there, and just, it's mind blowing. That's all I got. I'm just so proud to be a part of it. And then the announcement of doing the cardiac center in Tecumseh.
Sure.
My uncle had quadruple bypass surgery in Arizona in January. He had just went down there. Wow. He has a winter home down there. And my cousin's a nurse, and they had to get him back here. He had the surgeries and everything. And I think it really hit me when I walked into that waiting room and seeing my Uncle Doug sitting there and utilizing that space. That just took everything to a whole new level that I just want to keep on going. It's just really important to us.
It's funny how that works, Dani? It's like, I've said often since I started the show, it's like, Carrie and I have been very vocal about, our journey through the healthcare system in regards to our son, Liam, and, being up at Sick Kids and going through that whole experience, and then utilizing the Ronald McDonald House. It's like, we used to do, and we still do, some fundraising for Ronald McDonald House and as a family, and certainly for Sick Kids now. But it's like, before we were actually knew somebody, in this case, my son, who had to go through, that particular area, it's like, it really brings it home about, the work that you're doing, and to see your family member utilize that. I mean, that must have been like, okay, well, I know that my efforts, my blood, my sweat, my tears, my stress, my happiness is all going towards something that I can see the tangible results of. And it continues to be, I think, a much needed fundraising push. I know that, you guys are doing the 50-50 with the foundation. I've seen that, and I know that's cooking along too, but that's where that fundraising and that sort of adaptability comes into play.
Absolutely. And I think that everybody has, like you do for Liam, and for I do with mental health, addiction, and cardiac. Of course, those are dear to me and our family. And when you find that, I think that you just want to do all you can. You don't care how exhausting it is, or the calls that you have to make, everything that you have to do. You want this to happen. You want it so much. And you're constantly thinking of how you can make it better. How can we raise more money? How can we, what area can we improve? Where do we need to put this money? You got to find these areas, and there's always an area, and just the importance of that. And I am so blessed to be at Hôtel-Dieu Grace and working on, and with the foundation, like we were talking about earlier, of having to reinvent ourselves and coming up with different ideas. And last year for mental health, for kids' mental health, we came up with a 5K butterfly walk, which was awesome. And we'll be doing it again this year. And it was different, wrapping your head around doing something completely out of the box. Like, okay, the virtual, people weren't understanding it. Of course, we all get it now pretty much, but at that time, sure. No, but it was just, for me, I had to get out of just cardiac. I was always so focused on the cardiac end of it, and just seeing I mean, I did help out with the gala. I help out with golf. I help out with and Heartbreaker, all the wonderful events that
Oh,
we put on. But isn't the Heartbreaker Challenge a blast?
oh my God. I have a story. I have stories about Heartbreaker for you, and I want to talk to you about that too. But you go, I got to ask you for golf. Okay. So we're doing our first ever golf tournament with the Humane Society, and I'm pumped for it because I love to golf, but I'm not a serious golfer. Like I'll crush a couple on the course, but I like to have fun when I golf. Right. But it's a ton of work, right? Like, cause like you guys know, you guys have been doing it for so long too, that it's really an organizational key, which is so crucial to that with any kind of fundraising, even like the gala too. I know how much effort that you and Barb and the team put into stuff like that. It's insane.
Oh, absolutely. We joke though, because we have such a great team, and Barb's the big boss. She's the GM, I call her. And I look at it like I put everything into sports, right? So it's kind of like football for me. It's like, okay, well, I'm the quarterback of the ride,
Sure.
and I've got my team. And then, and Linda's the quarterback for golf, and we have Heather quarterback, she has gala. It's like we all have our little bits and pieces that we all have to work on, and we help each other out. And it is a lot of work. And I love being on the planning and the organizing and doing the behind the scenes stuff. As for golf, I'm not a golfer. No.
Was Bob a golfer? No. Or on
Not
occasion?
not a serious golfer. I think
No.
he did a lot for fundraising events, and when there'd be team get together, they would do some golfing and stuff. Like, he'd kill the ball. He had zero form whatsoever. He was just terrible. And that was with him with everything. He did tennis, bowling, whatever. So his form was terrible. And I certainly didn't want to learn from him. Like, he just wasn't the most patient for teaching me that kind of stuff. So,
Sure.
but I have some girlfriends that are really trying to encourage me. You know who you are, Victoria. Yeah, they want to get me out golfing. And they said, well, just make it really fun for you, and we won't be serious. And I'm like, I don't believe you. You're going to get all serious, and I'm going to hate it. So
Yeah. Then I'm done and I'm sitting in the cart. It's no fun for anyone, right?
exactly. I'll pout. I don't know. It won't be good.
I know. That's why, like, when I go golfing, there's always a disclaimer with like I'm going with some friends of mine on the 24th, and it's like, okay, we can have fun, but we're also going to not take it super serious because, it is what it is.
Okay, so maybe I can golf with you then, Arms.
Yeah, well, just say the word. I'm there, and it'll be a fun time. I'm all about sampling the many drinks
Okay.
on the golf cart.
Okay.
Teresa says, Danny, thank you so much for your continued hard work in memory of Bob and for our community.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much.
Debbie says, you are a blessing, Danny, to the community and have a very strong force to reckon with. I am in awe. So
Debbie, thank you.
Obviously your impact in the community is so well known and well felt, which is awesome to see that folks realize the work that goes into putting these particular events and that passion that goes into it. I want to talk a little bit more about Bob with you too, and through the years, and the kids as well, and certainly your sister and the family too. But before we get into the family side of things, Heartbreaker, like that to me, I was devastated when I totally get it when they couldn't do it last year. I was pumped up for it. Actually, that was my bachelor party in 2016. I literally, instead of going through a traditional bachelor party when I was getting married, I took my two best men, because I have two best friends, and the three of us. It was just really the three of us because the other people didn't. They were too chicken to do it. We did it, and I kid you not, Danny, it was it was probably one of the best fundraisers I have been a part of. It was just fun. And I actually had to
what about your car afterwards when you got in? How long did that dirt stay there? It took me 3 days to get mud out of my ears, but
right? Like we put like garbage bags at the bottom, but it was funny because you guys had thought of everything. Because at Malden Park, I remember, because we were just covered in mud, right? And you guys had the tents with the like the spraying. It was like everybody's showering kind of thing with the clothes on, because we were just caked on mud. But it was honestly like, and the biggest thing for Carrie, my wife, she was like, if you honestly break a leg right now or break an arm before the wedding, I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm not going to be stupid. Here I am, like waist up in the mud, crawling through the mud. It was just, it was so well done.
Did you?
No, but my buddy did. And I was like, oh, you should just take off the other one. And just
rookie mistake. Got to duct tape those on. Get them on there really good.
Slap it on with some duct tape and then away you go. But I mean, is there word like, are you guys planning to do more of the Heartbreaker stuff as we continue through whatever may come?
I know the Heartbreaker team was really hoping they could have pulled something off this fall. I think they were I don't even know where they're at with it, so I don't even want to jump the gun with that. I know that they like myself were devastated. It's an awesome event. I mean, they have over 1,500, 2,000 participants at that thing every year. It's amazing. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It's exhausting. I know the entire team at the end of that day, we go back on the Sunday to clean up and everything, but oh, so worth it. It's a blast. For people out there, if you haven't tried it, you got to do it. It's a lot of fun.
It's just fun. Like you said, it's fun. And then it was like, people just get down and dirty. You can have a nice beer afterwards and relax. And it's just one of those events where I think like you're raising the funds for the event, but you're still making a memory while doing it, right? It's not the same old, same old. And I remember the year.
Photos. Don't forget the group photos when you're covered in mud. That's a blast.
Amazing. Yeah, those are amazing. And I like, they had photographers the year that we did it. They had photographers when you were running down sort of the field, and then you're getting to the big pyramid of straw, and you had to climb the pyramid, right? And I got some sweet photos from that too. But it was just a great time. It was great to see corporate involvement too. I know the guys from Fairhall Mechanical were in front of us and they were teasing us, but it was just a good time. So I'm glad
that's half the fun right there. The costumes that people come in and all the good.
Sure.
Not some people take it seriously, but I'm not. Oh, I don't think. No. I think most of the crowd's there just for a really good time.
Yeah. It's a good time for a great cause too. So I gotta ask you. You and I have talked. I think the last time we did an official interview was when you came by the CBC and you were talking about the documentary, and we were chatting in the lobby of the CBC about that. But that really kind of got me going. Like I said to Carrie, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna have Dani on the show," and she's like, "Oh, that's cool." And I wanted to ask you about this. Like, and now we have some time. Like, what was Bob like? I know Bob had that persona of being the tough guy, right? But like, what was he like around you? What was he like around the kids? What was Bob like in every day?
Anybody who knows Bob, knew Bob, he was a big child. He was a big, goofy kid. What he was on the ice, that was a role that he had to play. And that was not him at home. I was the tough guy in this house. I was the boss. Had to be. One of us had to be. He had no concept of time. He was late for everything. He had this unbelievable passion for food like none other. Zero concept of time. He had to be like a school night, 10 o'clock. He loved his old muscle cars, pull out the Chevelle, pile all the kids. Ours and all the neighbors would go and, okay, let's go hit Slinkies or, get an ice cream milkshake, something. Just always just a fun guy, just so playful. Loved tubing with the kids and, in the pool and Foursquare and everything else that we did. He was just always, he was all or nothing too. He was either go, 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 or he was out. That was it. The minute he'd wake up, hit the ground running. He had such a passion for his motorcycles and his cars and tinkering. So good with his hands. He loved working on his own cars. He was really good at taking them all apart bit by bit and labeling them and putting them in little baggies, and quite methodical actually, but putting them back together. Yeah, we'd have to have a professional come in and do that. But then he was just so proud of his kids. He loved going to all their sporting events and supporting them and going on all the hockey road trips and all kinds of fun stuff. He was a great dad, awesome husband. Yeah, good son. He was a great guy. Great sense of humor. Oh my gosh, king of the one-liners. And he would always insist when we'd go out for dinner that he always ordered the best thing on the menu and you'd have to taste it. That was Bob every single time. Yeah.
What do you think he would say about the kids now? I know they're thriving, they're succeeding, they're doing some incredible things in the world. Still a very close-knit family. If he could see the family now, and I'm sure he does, what would he say about the family and the kids now as they progress through life?
I'd like to think that he's watching them. I know that's my gut feeling. I like to think that he's watching them all the time and he's just beaming with pride because they're awesome kids. All four of them are so amazing. And each one of them has a bit of him, like his awesome personality, his awesome qualities. Each one has something different and it just blows my mind. And it's just so cool to see, and watching them grow up and seeing more of him in them as they get older. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
And when they interact with some of Bob's old teammates and folks through the sport as well, and family friends that when they were younger, what's their reaction to some of the stories of Bob and, getting to learn their dad through a different lens? when they were maybe a little bit younger to, realize the persona that Bob was, this guy who was just amazing on the ice and just somebody who was synonymous with hockey in this area.
In the beginning, when we moved back here from Chicago, I mean, it wasn't a big deal to the kids. They didn't, man, my gosh, one of my daughters went to school and someone said, "Oh, I heard your dad's a big famous hockey player," or whatever. She goes, "No, whatever." And then the other one started crying because, "No, you lied." And oh my gosh, the tears. But they didn't quite get it when when we were in Chicago and you're in the thick of it, you're living it. It's just dad. And coming home and seeing the fans and some people around here, they were getting older too. So for them to be able to see it and maybe try to comprehend, why is this person following my dad around and wanting a picture or wanting an autograph? And then when they got, I think it was more after he passed away that they really got what he was in hockey and what he did, because then everybody started coming out, the stories started coming out. People were sharing all the videos and how blessed are we that my kids are able to go to YouTube and they can hear their dad's voice. I mean, we have lots of home videos too, and to see interviews and stuff like that. I mean, that's a blessing in itself. And that the people want to talk about him. He was such a charismatic person. He was just full of so much life that the stories that you hear from these people are just awesome. And I just was on a ride for the downtown mission on Sunday, and people show me pictures or tell me stories I've never heard before. And I'm just like, thank you so much. And actually I saw Pete Craig this weekend too. Unbelievable that he was the guy that drove me to the hospital the day that Bob died. It was a really emotional weekend, actually, now that I look back.
Oh my God.
So yeah, we are truly blessed that people can come up and share these stories, and there are great stories. There's some crap ones too. Those are old, whatever. We like hearing all the good stuff. So,
well, I think that's, you don't get to be somebody of Bob's caliber, right? Without, I've always said in my life that you can't make an omelet without cracking some eggs. And, perception is always in the eye of the beholder. But I think that the fact that we're in 2021 and people still vividly remember Bob's skill, his tenacity, I think that speaks volumes to his character on ice and off the ice, especially for hockey players and fans of the sport, because like you said, he becomes this sort of figure on the ice that, people think about the Detroit Red Wings during that time frame, and they were just, this powerhouse team that continued to do amazing things on the ice, and they had all the perfect pieces, I think, in play. And, you being with Bob at that time, I think people appreciate sports, especially now during the pandemic, with something to do. But going back to that time period when, the Red Wings were so, there's a passion for the team. There's no doubt about that. But it was almost like this dynasty that they were in with these different players.
Time out. Unfortunately, Bob he was part of the rebuilding of the dynasty. I think he played an integral part of that. But he missed out. He didn't win a Stanley Cup with them. Sure. And that was so bittersweet. I'd be lying if I said anything else. It's because we were so happy for our friends that were Bob's old teammates and the wives and girlfriends that I knew, our hockey family there in Detroit. It was very exciting for them, but we wanted to be a part of it too. And we knew that the next Christmas coming up after them winning the cup, we were going to get a boatload of Christmas cards with the Stanley Cup. That's going to be a little hard.
So would you say that would have been probably one of his biggest regrets then, that he wasn't able to do that with the Wings at that point?
I don't know if it was all timing. And when you think about it, when Bob got sober, leaving Detroit and entering that next season of his life, mm-hmm. of sobriety and us starting our family, I don't necessarily think that it was a regret, but it's definitely something that he missed. He wished he would have been on that cup for sure. Yeah, but he had some pretty awesome stuff too. So he did some pretty cool stuff that he was proud of. So,
and flip it on the dad side of the end, including his kids too, right? You go back to, getting to that page and saying, maybe doing the refocus a bit and saying, okay, I'm going to focus a little bit more on the kids now. That must have been something that, was a big benefit for everybody in the family as well, right? He's there, he's able to be involved with the kids and, sort of be that dad that you always knew he was.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was so nice. At that time we were adjusting to retirement when we first came back here from Chicago, and that's a whole other ball game in itself. And truthfully, I mean, that was a really rough period for Bob retirement. He took that really hard, and that's when he relapsed at that time. So the first couple of years here of us getting into that groove were rocky. They were definitely rocky. So it was nice to see. It was such a relief to see him come out of that side of it and to be so involved with the kids again and reconnect and get. He never coached any of the kids, but he definitely was hands-on at all the games, whether what it was track and field for Brogan or figure skating or any of the hockey games or volleyball. He did. Oh, he was just a great spectator. He was an awesome support dad. He was a great, sitting on the sidelines. He was good too. He wasn't the overpowering. He'd like to embarrass them more. He really had fun with embarrassing the kids, playing the perfect dad role. Yes, he liked to embarrass the crap out of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's like a dad must do, right, with your kids. Is at some
Absolutely.
point, embarrass them a little bit,
passage.
Right? 100%, 100%. So, I mean, as we look forward to the future, are you feeling good about and the Probert ride and the legacy? I mean, how long are you thinking about this continuing indefinitely? I know you want to continue to expand things and you want it to get back to normal. I guess I'm asking, like, what's on the horizon for you?
This ride's going on as long as my kids want it to, and Teresa's here. She loves it. And as long as I have the energy to keep doing it, that ride's going to happen for sure. As for planning, I'd like to include cars. I'd like to get some other big things going on with it and expanding from there. But with everything going on with the pandemic, you're really doing everything day by day, right? So it's what I have in here and what's written in my notebook on my desk and in my computer and everything looks really good. I just need it to happen. It needs to come to fruition. I want it all to come to fruition. So,
well, I was going to say too, at Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare, there's some pretty incredible things that are happening from a partnership standpoint too. I know I saw some information recently in regards to some renovations they're doing with some community kitchens, I think. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of exciting to see that kind of partnership happen too. And maybe, Dani, you can talk about those kind of partnerships that I know the foundation has set out in the community as well. I mean, you talked about Thunder Road, about how, involved they've been. I mean, mm-hmm. I've always said to folks too in Windsor that, it's like 5 degrees of separation, right? And you get to run into folks and kind of lean onto each other's strengths to make things happen too. So I guess it really is about partnerships and see where you guys want to be as a group.
Absolutely. I mean, realistically, I mean, these are great questions for Bill, who you'll be having on soon, I'm sure, and he'll be able to fill you in more on that. But I do, sure, on our end of it, of organizing events, third-party events and partnerships that you're talking about, like BK Cornerstone and In Honor and T2B and, CMHA. We have a lot of great people in this community that we get to get together with and come up with so many wonderful initiatives. And just hearing like all this, like almost spitballing, everybody throwing out these ideas and, we can do this and whatever. And I don't know if you've been to to Prince Road. I don't know if you had a chance to see, we have this awesome, this is one of my things that I just love it. I love it every time I walk outside. First of all, our grounds are beautiful. And I think if you haven't been there, you got to check it out. It's gorgeous. What a great site. And we did a beautiful a fundraiser a few years ago. I think it was 2019. Yes, 2019 that we did the BK Cornerstone House that was donated through In Honor of the ones we love with Anita Imperioli and the Clunderts and ourselves. And they sold a house, and the proceeds from that house, portion of that came to us. And as a thank you gift from us to the Clunderts, to BK Cornerstones, we had a house made, a birdhouse made for them, like the house that they sold. And it's spectacular. But my highlight was walking by and actually seeing a family of birds in there. I'm like, yay! And I'm taking all kinds of pictures, and I sent them off to Mike, who made the birdhouse. I was so excited. But it's stuff like that for me, the simple things for me. But yeah, we have some great people in our community, and it's awesome to be able to partner with them.
And when you're organizing these different events, like the third party things too, I mean, you really start to lean on the community to come to you with different sectors, right? Like different things that, like you said, that you may not have thought of, but then they're like, hey, we could do this for you. And this may work, because I guess that's where those personal connections come in, right? It's the folks who've been touched by the staff, the medical staff at Hôtel-Dieu Grace, that are able to provide that excellent care that kind of comes full circle.
Absolutely. And also, I mean, gosh, you just reminded me of something. I just noticed a letter in my office, and it was something from somebody that a patient had been there, and then I think noticed something that from the Probert ride and connected all the dots and got a letter to Bill that ended up to me that was thanking me for what we were doing. But this letter was so beautifully written. I just want to have it framed. It's wonderful, but it's stuff like that you see from, like you said, our patients or families that have come through, or other partnerships that you just think, oh, it just warms your heart. That's the truth. It really does. And it really keeps you going, and you want to do more because you just get that little, it's like a warm hug. That sounds corny, but it's the truth. It really is.
Well, it's nice to see that, you get that sort of appreciation, especially in today's world, right? In 2021, like I've said many times to folks, it's like, there's a veil of negativity that's out there. I think that is so prevalent nowadays, and it's nice to get that feedback from folks that are saying, hey, you know what, you've impacted my life, or hey, you guys are doing a great job with this, or hey, I can support you because of that. And I think when people take the time, especially with those handwritten notes, I think that that's a testament to what you guys are doing in the foundation, and certainly with the ride as well, is that you're making an impact on folks' lives. And then you get that feedback that comes full circle.
Yeah, definitely. And you just hit the nail on the head. First of all, when's the last time you've received a handwritten note?
Right?
That was, I mean, gosh, that threw me. It was like, wow, this is amazing. And you're right. It just solidifies what you're doing. You're on the right path, and keep doing it. It's when you're having a down day and you're exhausted, and maybe, you've heard some no's in that day, but then you get that. And then you get the person when you walk through the door, and they light up and they're happy to see you, and they want to tell you a story or share a photo or something. It's just, it makes it all worthwhile. It's a lot of work, and it's worth it.
Outside of the Probert ride, being a mom, the work at Hôtel-Dieu Grace Health Foundation, what else does Dani Probert like to do? What do you do to sort of unwind? I know it's a little bit different in COVID times, but what do you like to do?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's changed. You're right. I mean, I used to be like a gym rat and hanging out with my girls, my golden girls. Yeah, you know who you are, golden girls. Yeah, I have a great crew, but we actually were getting together a lot over the past year, putting on some miles. We were walking 10, 12K a day. And wow. Oh my gosh, we'd be in the middle of winter. I'm a fair weather walker outside. I'm not going to lie. I like perfect weather, but a friend of mine at work, Peggy, she was like, okay, we're going to do some outside winter walking. And I'm like, And I tried it and loved it, instantly hooked, and kept going all the way through. So that's a fun thing for us, is to go get together and some yoga in the parks and stuff like that. We like doing outside yoga and just being with my people. I just love it. That's the most fun for me. Being able to participate in a motorcycle ride last Sunday, that was a lot of fun.
Is that the one for the mission that you were saying, the downtown mission? Oh, nice. Yeah.
They did a fantastic job. Kudos to them. They had a great turnout. It was a great day. It was a little too hot. Kind of reminded me of our first interview. And I mean, I don't think I've ever had been sweating on a bike before while it's moving. I'm like, how is that even possible? But that was a great day. So that's a lot of fun too, just to, I'm more of a homebody, but it was really nice to get out there and see some people and be a part of something that big. It was great.
Let's go to a couple more comments here coming in the feed. Eric says, Heartbreaker and the ride, two of my most favorite events to photograph, especially when Dani gives a thumbs up in the pic.
Okay, Eric, that's funny, because that picture of my thumb, it went like, it was going due south or something.
It's like just a blur motion, right?
Some weird thumbs. That's what I saw from that picture.
Teresa says here, in 2018, the dietitians from Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare were also available for my husband's needs. This is all because of the Probert ride donations. So some really good feedback there from folks who are watching and listening to the stream too.
So that stuff.
It's huge, right? I mean, those are people whose lives you've changed because of the fundraising that you've done.
Absolutely. And it's funny, we were talking earlier, and it's shameless plug, whatever. Okay, so we have our tickets for the ride, right?
Yeah.
And I distribute these with my Proby peeps. Is awesome. And there's some at Thunder Road and there's some at Unifor. But every single one of these stubs that you guys fill out, everybody fills out, I have to put these in on a spreadsheet. You have to. The rules with the licensing, it's insane. But You have no idea how much fun it is for me to see who purchased a ticket, and thank you for everyone that has, and to see like maybe the number that they picked on their ticket, or their name, or their, you know, their address or something. I always look at it and go, oh, wow, that's Bob's jersey number, or Bob's birthday number, or, oh, that was the 70 Chevelle. And I'm like, oh, I hope this person wins. I got through every single ticket. I'm like, oh, I hope this person wins for whatever reason, but it's just hilarious. But yeah, it's all a part of that. And like hearing the stories from the hospital, seeing the people that are, that participate. Oh my gosh, sitting up on that stage, Arms, you've been there on ride day. You see the crowd. It's crazy. It's amazing. And you're up on that stage and you look out and you just can't believe all these people are together for whatever reason, whether they're a hockey fan, they just like to ride, somebody's had, you know, a cardiac health issue or whatever, we're all together and we're doing it. And it's just, wow, it's awesome. I'm getting all pumped up again. Thanks, Arms.
That's okay. Hey, this is what the show's about. We got to get people excited, keep people keeping positive. And well, I think, I mean, God willing, everything stabilizes here as we turn the corner into 2022, and we can kind of get back to, I want to say normal, because I firmly believe that it'll never be quote unquote, it's just going to be adapting to new things. And you guys are able to do this in, 2022 and able to do it again. When I was digging through photos of all the times we've done interviews on CHWI over the years, it's like, I remember a couple of times, like I am the clumsiest guy alive and I could never, ever like be on a bike. But I remember asking a couple of times if we could get like a sidecar through like the whole
I would
sidecar.
do that for you. How about, or going on the back. There's a name for that, but I'm not going to say it. You can go on the back of the bike if you want. Eddie Mio does it. Why not?
Come on. Really?
Yeah. Or we'll just put you on the bus with everybody else.
I'll be in charge of the bus. That'll
Come on.
Be good.
Janice gets on the back of a bike.
Come on. Does she?
Absolutely.
Oh, wait. No, what? I think I saw some pretty cool pics with her over the years. Actually, no. I remember that because she was like, she just kind of hangs on and away you go.
Oh, but right? she's cool. She gets on there and oh my gosh, the poor thing. I think her first year actually getting on the back of a bike was the year of the dreaded torrential downpour, year 5.
Oh my God.
Of all years that she had, she did the ride on the bike. I'm pretty sure that was her first year. It might have been year 4, but she did experience year 5 and it wasn't good. That was the scariest year, but yeah, good times, that torrential downpour. Mm-hmm.
Still did it. Troopers, right? Still went in.
So you can get in there. We'll get you on a bike. Come on.
All right. Let's sidecar, or they got you seen the motorcycles now, they got the 2 wheels in the front and then it's like a reverse tricycle. Whatever you like. I
want one of those.
Those are pretty cool.
I know.
Those are pretty cool.
My sister has one out there in California. She tried one out for a little while. It's pretty awesome.
Rebecca says I got to get a trike. Yeah, there you go. That's something to do. Eric says LOL. So I'll tell you. Well, it has been just an absolute pleasure to have you on. I know I've been looking forward to bringing you on. Like I say this, like when I said to my wife, I'm like, I'm going to do the show. I got to make a list of like my must-have guests, and you were like right at the top. So,
Arms, thank you so much.
No, you're just such a sweet woman, and I think that you're so dedicated to the community, and you've always been through the years we've known each other. I've called you up at a moment's notice, said, "Hey, can you come on the air?" Boom, you're there, and no prep, no work. We just shoot the breeze, and I think you're doing incredible stuff. I think the kids are lucky to have a great mom like you. Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare is lucky to have a great champion like yourself, and our community is better because your passion is in it. So thank you for spending some time with me tonight. I appreciate it.
Arms, thank you so much. That's wonderful. Thank you. You just made me all warm and fuzzy. I really do appreciate that. But you make this easy. You're awesome, and thank you so much. I really do enjoy chatting with you.
Oh, I appreciate it. And keep up the great work and keep me posted on what's happening for the ride. And I'm sure we'll be in contact soon too. I appreciate it, Dani.
Sounds great. Take care.
Take care. Thank you so much. Dani Probert, my guest on tonight's show. Amazing lady, does amazing things for the community. You've got the Probert ride, hopefully, fingers crossed, coming up in 2022. So if you want to find out more information about that, you can surf on over to Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare's website, find out more information on their big raffle that they're going to be drawing, and then a little bit more about what's happening in the future for some upcoming fundraising projects for them too. Obviously, Bob is a man of many talents, a legend in the sports world. And, Dani's got some incredible things coming down the pipe and will continue to do the ride for Hôtel-Dieu Grace Healthcare in the coming years. So that's going to do it for this edition of the show. Thank you so much for spending some time with me on the project. Just before we go, we are doing some pretty cool stuff too. We're caffeinating you, so to speak. These are some of the folks, including Steve Bureau, some of the folks I've met who watch and listen to the show, who have ordered these fancy mugs. These are awesome mugs. They are highly durable, highly stylized, and ceramic and dishwasher safe. And they go to a great cause. Luke Michaud, one of our first guest here on the show, kicking things off from the band Big Wiggle. So these mugs are available to purchase, and we're asking you to change the channel, upgrade the conversation with positive vibes. And we are featuring these mugs for you from my partners at Divinal Designs. They're a local company here in Windsor, Essex. And the mugs are $20 a piece, and they go to an amazing cause. Two causes, actually. The Windsor-Essex County Humane Society and the Ronald McDonald House at Windsor Regional Hospital. We're keeping families together through positive vibes with the Arms Bumanlag Project mug. So if you'd like one of these mugs, you can contact me, or you can contact Divinal Designs on Facebook, and we will hook you up with those mugs. And just know that your much-needed donations go to an amazing cause here in Windsor-Essex. Two of them, actually. So we'll see you on Friday night. Jen Brignell-Strong is my guest. She is the host of Tailgate Takeout. It is an awesome video podcast that happens here in Windsor-Essex, where she actually reviews restaurants in Windsor-Essex. And she's also a huge Star Wars fan. And she was also a co-host on 89X Radio when that was up on the air. So Jen's going to be my guest Friday night at 8 o'clock. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate it. And we'll see you back on Friday. Cheers.